Is this the one we went last year with the new generator? Does this one have one of the new generators?
No. This is right behind the new apartments that were constructed in Remerton.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lift station that was constructed there, I want to say maybe 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So it's a fairly new station, but it is one of the major stations that was constructed to handle the flows going to the new wastewater treatment plant.
Is this and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds kind of like a person didn't do something that he was supposed to do more than like an equipment malfunction?
That is correct, yeah. If the cable had been reconnected as it should have been, then the pumps would have operated properly and we would not have had that release. Okay. And the release occurred behind Target. So once we were notified by our staff at the wastewater treatment facility that they were receiving reduced flows, our crews went out and quickly found out where those flows were going. So that did help us to get there more quickly, because the station typically would notify us, but that particular plug that was disconnected was the piece of data that the system needed to transmit to us to allow us to respond quickly.
Gotcha.
What was the cleanup like in this circumstance?
The cleanup was pretty significant. As you know, we had about 7.5 million gallon release. So our crews were out there with the vacuum trucks, capturing any residue from the spill that was in the creek. Fortunately, the levels were pretty low in the creek, and we're going to be able to capture a significant amount of that has become contained in the creek itself. And so we're working on that as we speak. We also have disinfected the area. So that's one of the first steps we typically do, is we'll go out to the affected area and put down sodium hypochlorite, which is a disinfectant, so that it kills most of the pathogens that may be present in the water stream.
Was there any, and we understand if you can't answer, but was there any, I guess, were ties separated with the contractor after this error? What was the end result in that circumstance, since it was technically the contractor's fault?
Yeah, we're waiting on a response now. We contacted the contractor yesterday to verify that they had technicians in the area prior to the failure, and they've admitted that they did have a person there in the station. They are preparing their response right now. We're waiting that document.
Oh, what's the name of that contractor?
It's Electrical Machine Controls out of Trustville, Alabama. And they do SCADA systems, which gives you advance notice when you have an event at one of your wastewater plants or your lift stations. And they've done thousands and thousands of tags in the past, and they've done a lot of work for us recently, and it was an oversight by one of their employees.
How frustrating was it for you guys? You've worked really hard to sort of avoid these sewage spills and stop these things from happening. Tell us a little bit about these.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. You know, we spend millions and millions of dollars to address spills that we've had in the past, and I think we've done a really good job. You know, we were on path to not have a significant release by the city this calendar year after the major event that we had in December of 2018. We had recently released a memo to the state informing them that we were completing our analysis and our mandatory lab results for those spills. As you might know, when we have a spill, we're required by the state to sample for 365 days.